Hey everyone, happy Sunday to you. I hope all is well. We're cruising right along, right? So we're almost at the halfway point here, which means week 8 is at the end of week 8. Obviously follows week 9, and that's your big assignment. Well, your first of 2 big assignments. Again, worth a quarter of your grade, 250 points, and it's the treatment plan. This week's assignment is going to really give you your first experience for those that haven't had it with writing a treatment plan. So your DB this week, well, first you need to read chapter 7 on individual treatment. It follows right along with the treatment settings. Then next readings will be group counseling and family counseling, all things which we work with, right, as it relates to the substance use disorder. But back up to this assignment. This week's DB will be, if you go into discussions tab as you normally would, you go to week 8, it's discussion board number 4, the case of Sam. It gives you a case study, and it's going to ask you to, from that case study, determine 1 diagnosis, just 1. We don't want 10, just 1. A treatment plan, and complete the following, and it's the most basic treatment plan you could do. A problem statement, a goal, an objective, and a strategy. And it gives you definitions. The problem statement, identify 1 problem statement. The goal, identify 1 goal for Sam with a time frame. Objective, identify how Sam will address this goal. Strategy is indicate what strategies Sam will use to achieve the objective. Right? So this will be your first, you just need to write that out just like that. Diagnoses, problem statement, goal, objective, strategies, just like that, listed on a paper, and that's what you'll do in your DB post. You'll respond to that post just like that. There's no word count, there's no citations, none of that required in this DB. Just simply read this case study, follow exactly what it says on your to-do at the bottom. Write the diagnosis, identify diagnosis, semicolon, write the diagnosis with the ICD-10 number. So, I don't know the number off the top of my head, F43.10, alcohol abuse, uncomplicated. I don't know if that's it exactly. I'm just saying that's what you're expected to write here. Diagnosis, you got that. Treatment plan, which will include the following. Problem, semicolon. Here's 1 problem. 1 problem statement. Problem statement is, let's say Sam drinks too much. I'm not saying he does or doesn't. I'm saying let's say drinking is the problem. So you've identified that alcohol use disorder, mild or moderate or severe, may be the diagnoses. So you get that number and write it out. F43.10, alcohol abuse uncomplicated. Treatment plan is going to include a problem statement. Problem statement 1, substance use disorder, as identified by client reports, and that's where you take your information from the case study. Goal, which will be identify 1 goal for Sam with a time frame. Client will decrease symptoms, or will remain abstinent while increasing the knowledge for the disease of recovery, and within a 6-week time frame. I don't know. Yeah, it's up to you. You determine that. Objective, how will Sam address this goal? Sam will attend 2 12-step meetings a day for 6 days. I don't know, for 6 months, whatever you determine there. Strategies, how will Sam will achieve this objective? Sam will identify local 12-step meetings to attend. That's how that's going to go, right? Don't use that one, but use it may not even be a thing in here. I don't know. You need to read about Sam and see what you determine. But this is going to be your outline here for your next major assessment, your next major assignment, which is your treatment plan on the case of Al. Al will have at least 2 problem statements followed by goals and objectives. So Again, I'm happy to discuss this further with you via Zoom anytime. But as LCDCs, this is part of our job. We're going to write treatment plans for every client we work with. That's our state rules and regulations. We have to do this, whether in a facility, whether in private practice, whatever the licensures, they all require treatment planning. No, we can debate the value of a treatment plan all day long. Some of us love them, some of us less than love them. I'm on the less than love them side. In treatment, I found people are more likely to follow what their treatment plan says. Outside of treatment, not as much. Meaning it doesn't have the same value, but that's okay. It's still a requirement that if I'm audited, I have to show treatment plans. So that's something to keep in mind. This week, the DB is just worth your normal 50 points. But then you got a couple days, you have week 9, you got the 2 days for the midterm break, the 13th and 14th. The 15th through the 19th is a shorter week than week 9. This assignment is due then. I will not accept it late, guys. You have to be on time with this one, which hasn't been a problem in this course. But you have to, I just need to stress to you how big of a deal this is. I've been talking about it since the beginning of class. So there's no reason not to reach out to me if you need help. I'm sure you're going to do great on it. It's not that serious it's serious as far as your grade. I'm sure you guys will do great. You're doing a great job in this class, just like in 1300. So looking ahead from that, same thing, chapter 9 in week 10, family counseling, quiz 3 on 7, 8, and 9. Then week 11, you get a reprieve. There's no assignment due other than reading chapter 10. Then I need you to note in week 12, you have to read 2 chapters and take a quiz on 10, 11, and 12. Man, we're almost done with this class after that. Literally, then you have one more DB. That'll be your last quiz in week 12. Then you have one more DB in week 13. Then you have a week to work on your paper. So you have 2 weeks to do the second assignment, which I haven't talked as much about, but it's also worth a quarter of your grade. So 2 assignments are worth half this grade, right? This treatment plan coming up. The other one's just a regular paper, meaning it's not a huge research paper, 15 pages, it's 2 to 3 pages on one of 2 counseling theories, motivational interviewing or cognitive behavioral therapy. You will use both as LCDCs, I assure you. My foundation and everything I do is motivational interviewing and cognitive behavioral therapy. So as the weeks come up, but be thinking about that'll be your paper to do. Your textbook will need to be 1 resource. You'll still need 2 resources. Anyway, you can follow all those guidelines. And you'll present that the same way you would your papers in 1300. Same guidelines, same, just to give you a heads up, right? APA style, title page, resource page, Times New Roman, all the things, citations. But it'll be on one of those 2 theories. Whichever you choose, motivational interviewing or cognitive behavioral therapy. That just gives you a look ahead, and then you're out of here, right? You got a reflection paper at the end in both courses that is just, we're way ahead of the game talking about that, but that's the easy one. You just do it, you'll get those points. So I will be opening up extra credit at the end of week 8, so beginning of week 9. For those that need it, maybe the end of week 9 at the latest. But I have several assignments that you can do if you need to pull your grade up. Most of you are doing really well in here. So, that's up to you. The assignments are good, so I would encourage you to do them anyway. Some of them are very valuable. Anyways, that's enough about that. I'm getting way sidetracked here. I don't want to take up too much of your time in this. Just know that read this DB, this case study. Again, no DB normal requirements, no word count, no anything. Be sure to list your diagnoses, how we would list them professionally, meaning ICD-10 code, plus write out what it is. F.10, alcohol use disorder severe. F13.02, cannabis use disorder severe. Those aren't the right numbers. I'm just saying that's how that's going to look for your diagnosis. Then you want your problem statement. Then you want your objective or your goal, objective, and strategy. Just like that thing says, that's how your DB should be. And in response to your peers, you do still need to respond to your peers support them or challenge them or inquire about their diagnosis if it's different than yours, or maybe it's the same and you have different objectives or different ideas. Like, that's up to you. Like, whatever, however you want to respond. You don't have to follow word counts or citations on your responses either. Just engage with each other. Guys, if you have any questions, any concerns, don't hesitate to reach out. We'll talk soon.